Okay, good morning, everyone. What's the date today? Today is Wednesday, Wednesday, May 13th. Time is just standing still in some ways these days. Wednesday, May 13th, 2020. Welcome. Hi, Kenny. Today is our guided grounding meditation. So, apologies to anyone who tried to show up on Monday to the gratitude meditation. Was some new situation with Facebook live videos, and suddenly my camera was not allowed to work. So figured out a workaround for now, and I'll keep looking into making sure that these can continue. So thanks for your patience, and sorry that Monday was missed. But here we are today. It is middle of May, and just be continuing these grounding meditations moving forward. So what I want to say really quickly, for anyone who is interested in the program that I'm offering, the online program From Anxiety to Zen, it's a 4-week program that includes a private Facebook group, but also more importantly, weekly coaching sessions with me in the group. That starts next Monday, and the registration closes this Sunday. So if you're interested, please do reach out to me for more information, and be happy to chat. Or if you know anybody who's struggling a little bit with some extra anxiety these days, please feel free to forward that to them. Please actually do forward that and invite them. All right, so I want to go ahead and get started. Take a moment in your seat, wherever that might be, kind of make yourself comfortable. Let yourself kind of feel just any wiggles or anything in your body that would like to just move so that you can get yourself situated. Hi, Gabriella. And let yourself, just feel yourself getting comfortable physically. That might mean adjusting, or maybe you're already there. I sit in a chair, perhaps you're sitting on a couch or cross-legged, wherever you are, let yourself be comfortable. And take a moment, and once again, as we always do, starting orienting around the room, and let your eyes kind of lead the way and the head follows. So it's not just a turn of the head, it's a journey, a visual journey around the room that you're in, taking in your surroundings. And if you've been doing these meditations with me now for a while, the past few months, just notice if this practice feels different to you than it did initially. Does it somehow feel a little more familiar or different than when you first started? So just kind of notice as you're gathering, hi Mary, the information, and just orienting to your surroundings. Let, again, the eyes be soft and sort of follow around the room. And we'll take about 1 more minute here, just orienting. See if you can allow the eyes, instead of them bugging out, can you let them be soft and back in the head? And then do your visual journey that way. So just let yourself kind of have a softness as you gaze around you. And as I've explained before, this is a very soothing practice for mammalian species. So just notice if that feels true for you. It might feel new and strange, but just kind of see how it feels for you. Just a few more moments here. And when it feels like it's, and notice too if the eyebrows starts to lift or what happens, but just let yourself feel softness. And when you feel done with that practice, then let your eyes get soft, that the forehead soften, let your orientation come back in a forward direction, and let yourself sort of settle back in. And now you can decide, would you like your eyes to be opened or closed? Either way is fine. Again, if they're opened, let them be soft, the eyeballs softly relaxed back into the head. And let the eyelids just feel a little heaviness. And if the eyelids are all the way closed, same thing. You can let the eyelids be heavy and closed, and also imagine and allow the eyes themselves softening into the back of the head. So take a moment here and just settle in. Hi, Maureen. Welcome to the folks who are still joining. And then notice as you settle how your breath shifts and what you observe with the breath. And I'll invite you to take 3 intentional breaths. And when you're done with those 3, bring your awareness back to your body and see what you notice. And sometimes the simple act of paying attention to our breathing can really have a dramatic shift on our body and our being. So see if that was true for you, or if you actually wanted a few more breaths, or if anything didn't shift yet. Just see how your body responded. And let yourself kind of tune in to the interaction between your body and your breath. And as you continue to breathe and let yourself just simply be aware of the breath, what shifts in the body? And it might be that nothing shifts at first. It might take a little longer, but just see what you feel and what you notice and what is true for you. So I want to just start with 1 minute in silence where you just allow yourself to focus on the breath. There's no need to change it. It might change on its own accord, but let yourself just feel it and be present with the breath. So 1 minute of silence here. And then again, notice what shifted. Notice if anything shifted with just that simple awareness. There's a raw potential in awareness. And so just notice how that landed in your body. And I'll invite you now to bring your awareness down to your hips. So whatever the contact of your hips is that is on the surface below them, the chair, the couch, the floor. If you're seated in a chair, it might be sort of the middle of the hips, the sit bones. If you're seated cross-legged on the floor, you might feel it more on the outer side of the hips. So whatever that is, just simply have your awareness on your hips. And see if you can actually start to feel a heaviness landing down into the hips. And sometimes that happens with just pure presence. And sometimes we need to actually invite a bit of a heaviness or a lowering of dropping of energy. So either way, for now, we'll just be with this presence and this awareness starting to land lower down in the hips. And so again, the purpose of these meditations is a grounding meditation. So we're working on bringing the energy down and calming and lowering and sinking into more of a grounded, heavy place in the body. And so notice as you continue with the awareness on the hips, or perhaps you've even invited a presence or a heaviness, See if that does start to unfold for you. See how you feel and where you land energetically. And then over the course of the next 3 or 4 breaths, start to allow the breath to aid in that process. So as you inhale, even feel the breath drawing all the way down to the base of the pelvic floor, and perhaps even expanding the pelvic floor a little to the surface below you. And as you exhale, just feel that settling or perhaps a slight lift in the pelvic floor. But keeping that process going, inhale, feel the breath going all the way down through the belly to the pelvic floor, opening up and expanding to the surface below you. And then a slight exhale, drawing that up. So take a few more rounds just like that. That practice might feel uncomfortable or awkward at first, and so just allow it to unfold however it does for you. And just notice that the process itself of drawing the breath there starts to feel more natural. Does it start to feel grounding? Does it feel something different? Maybe it still feels like an effort, and that effort might not feel grounding. So just, again, see what's true for you. And I want to take one more minute in silence where, again, that intention is purely to bring the breath all the way down to the pelvic floor, expanding the muscles or the energy of the pelvic floor as you do bring the breath down. And as you exhale, it's almost just like a little collecting there, maybe a slight lift. And then again, inhale and bring that down, slight expansion, and then exhale and bring it together. So we'll take 1 minute in silence here with that practice. Even if the mind wanders, keeping the awareness on that practice. And then from here, see if you can let go of the intention of that practice through the pelvic floor and simply allow the breath to return to a involuntary, more natural state. And see what you notice from there. How did the body respond, or what do you observe? And if you observe some sort of calming or some sort of grounding, how does that land and how does that feel in your body? What are the sensations in your body that you observe as, quote, grounding or calming? And just seeing how that is for you. And the more that you can name it or simply observe it, then the more likely you are to be able to tap into it in the future. So we want to just be well versed in the language of our body. And perhaps you notice a breath or a sigh coming over. Or perhaps a body shift or a settling or a shrug. So just kind of observe again for a few more moments what feels true for you in your experience. And then I'll invite you to take 3, longer, slower breaths where the breath goes all the way up the spine as you inhale, the way up to the collarbones, and as you exhale, it drops slowly back down. So let's do 3 together like that. Slow, long breath in. And as you exhale, it lowers down. And again, long inhale, like an elevator going up the shaft of the body. And exhale all the way down. And one more like that. Long, slow breath in. And a slow breath out. And then take a moment and let your awareness of the breath go. Let it fully return to its natural state. And just bring yourself to awareness of your body. And just notice if you observe any sensations in the body, any tension or any holding pattern or any other sensation, perhaps a tingling or a warmth, maybe an ache and a pain or something different. Just see what you notice when you scan the body. And so often the physical body can hold tension or hold energy that feels stuck that we might not be aware of, that's more at the subconscious level. But when we bring our awareness or attention there, it can start to come to the surface a little bit more. And with this increased awareness, we can be better equipped to release it. And so I'm going to guide through a practice of connecting with the body in this way that might be a place where you actually feel tension, or it might not, but you could do this with another part of the body at a different time. And so we're going to start by simply resting the hands on your legs or your thighs or your laps somehow so that they're supported. So palms face down on the legs. As you inhale, start to just squeeze the shoulders up towards the ears. And as you exhale, very slowly and gently lower them back down. We'll do that several times. So slow inhale, lift the shoulders to the ears. And as you exhale, slowly release. Notice what the range of motion is. And do whatever feels comfortable for the body. So it doesn't have to be touching the ears. Really feel a little squeeze at the top though, a nice gentle squeeze, and then exhale and release. Let's do 4 more. Two more. Big inhale. Full exhale. And one more. And then this time I'll invite you to take a big inhale and again squeeze. And now hold the squeeze. Keep breathing, but let yourself just really squeeze the shoulders. And as much or as little squeeze as you like, but keeping them lifted, keep the squeeze. Perhaps a slight drop of the chin so the back of the neck doesn't get strained. And just feel the squeeze as much as you like. Stay with the breath. Stay for 2 more full deep breaths. Just a gentle squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Maybe a little bit more. And then with your next exhale, very slowly and gently release it with a long. Let them drop all the way down. And then one more time, just a slow lift up. And then this time with your mouth open, sigh. And then release again the effort on the breath and let the body simply unwind from that practice and take a moment and see what you observe and what you notice. There could be sensation in the shoulders, the jaw perhaps might want to open and stretch. You might feel other tension that you didn't notice before arising. Just kind of notice and see what you feel and how the body reacted and responded to that. So often we hold tension in the shoulders, and that not only can increase this sense of anxiousness or anxiety in the body, but it elevates our energy. And so helping to release that can start to soften and ground us a little bit more. And I want to take one more practice with the body, but let's just take a moment of noticing and observing, just in silence, where you simply observe how the body continues to unfold and respond to that practice. And just see if anything shifts as you continue to have your awareness there on the shoulders or anywhere else on the body that you're noticing sensation from that practice and that experience. And then we'll do one more practice with the body. We've done this before several weeks ago. And I'll invite you to bring your hands just right up at your chest level, just bending the elbows. Again, you can keep the eyes opened or closed for this. And as you exhale, you'll make a gentle fist. And as you inhale, you'll slowly expand the hands wide and extend them as much as possible. And then slowly exhale and just kind of gather them together. No need to squeeze right now. And so take several rounds of that on your own breath pace. Inhale and exhale, bringing it together. After one or two more, that big inhale and wide opening and then a gentle fist, then you could see if it would feel okay to, as you exhale, squeeze a little bit more strongly. So actually making a bit more of a fist. And so again, that inhale, long extension, wide open hands. And as you exhale, bring them strongly together. And if that practice ends up not feeling good for your body, then just go back to a gentle fist and a gentle closing like that. So let's take about 4 or 5 more like this, where you're simply expanding an inhale and open wide. And as you exhale, slowly squeeze or a gentle fist. Let's take 4 or 5 more like that. A couple more rounds, just like that. Inhale and open. Exhale, squeeze. 2 more. And then we're going to do the same thing as we did with the shoulders. As you inhale, expand the hands wide. Keep the breath going, but keep the expansion wide open. And see what you notice in your body this way. This could be an opening, slightly more activating sensation. See what you notice. One more breath in. And then as you exhale, bring the fists back down. And then squeeze just as much or as little as you like in the fist, just to gentle squeeze or more of an efforted squeeze will hold the squeeze. Keep breathing. One more breath here with a gentle squeeze. And then again, a big inhale, expand the palms open wide. And as you exhale, very slowly soften the hands first and then lower them down and let them rest on your legs. And again, take a few moments where you just observe the hands resting on the legs. And also observe what you notice in the body. And if you have any impulse to move the body, always follow that. If the shoulders want to shrug and roll back, or if the hands want to shake out or something different, let that impulse be followed and be felt through. And we'll take a couple more slow breaths, just resting the hands on the lap. Observing and noticing sensation in the arms, the hands, and the whole body. In fact, your whole energy field. And then just as a way to start to draw this physical practice in this meditation to a conclusion, and again, eyes are open or closed, just start to press gently the palms on the thighs, up and down the legs. So you can start close to the hip and then move down towards the knees. Just a gentle pulsing, pushing down into the thighs with as little or as much pressure as you like. Up towards the hips. And then back down towards the knees. And just notice again, weight and pressure in the hips and in the low body. And then the next time you land in the center of your legs, let the arms just rest and feel again that weight and the heaviness in the legs. Allow your awareness to go back down to the hips, feeling yourself in the chair. And let your breathing be involuntary and let it feel like it's helping you lower the focus of your awareness down towards the hips. So again, this attention low. And let's take another minute or so in silence, just with this down-winding, slow awareness and energy of grounding. And then let yourself take one more longer, slower, deeper breath. And then as you feel ready, if the eyes are not already open, you can go ahead and open them. And again, let the gaze start to slowly move around the room. Let the eyes lead, let the gaze and the eyes still be soft, so they're not bulging out of the head. And just feel yourself noticing and orienting to what you observe. Perhaps you observe a color and you notice all the places that you see that color in the room. Or simply finding a deeper connection with your space. Let their gaze go somewhat behind you as you go from one side to the other. And maybe you end up taking a deep breath or a sigh. Eventually that might happen. And then when you feel ready, you can bring again the orientation back towards your front, and we'll conclude this practice. And I always leave a little space at the end. If anyone has any questions or comments that you'd like to share, you can type them in the comment box. I'm happy to stay and answer questions or just observe and witness any observations that anyone has. And for those who joined late, welcome. And if you didn't hear the announcement at the front that my Anxiety to Zen online series starts this Monday, registration closes Sunday. So if you know anybody who is actually feeling or would appreciate some support in managing and working with anxiety, please do share that information. It's on my website, KathleenDowd.com. And I would love to support them or talk with them about the process. So again, thank you all for being here. I'm glad that there was no technical difficulties today. And it doesn't look like there's any questions, so I will just go ahead and sign off for now. And I'll look forward to seeing you on Wednesday next week. And if you are not in the gratitude group, we also do a guided gratitude meditation on Mondays at 8 a.m. through May. So join that. Again, contact me if you want to know about that, or that is on my website as well. And otherwise, I'll look forward to seeing you. Great. Glad to hear, Mary. Glad you could make it. And I'll look forward to seeing you all next Wednesday. Okay. Have a great week, everyone. Take care. Oh, thanks, Kathleen. Now I'm seeing all the comments. Awesome. All right. Take care, everyone.